What's up, guys? It's Megan James. You're joining us on the Megan James Show. I'm happy to have you here. I'm glad you're tuning in. And today I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So I know most of you probably who listen to the show know that we do a lot of business, entrepreneurship, life coaching, habits, that kind of thing. We talk about a variety of topics, but many of them are centered towards entrepreneurs, business owners, and things like that. And there's a reason for that. You know, primarily this whole channel is for entrepreneurship, just to help people move into that field and thrive. So one of the things that we haven't really focused on is actually super critical to your success in any field, any field, whether it's entrepreneurship, employee, whether you're just out there, maybe you own your own business, or maybe you just are an investor or something like that. If you're not maintaining your health and fitness, you're not going to be functioning in any aspect at 100% for you. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. We talked about some in terms of maintaining your mental health, but you also have to maintain your physical fitness, your actual wellness and well-being, everything from common sense stuff like taking your vitamins and sleep and things like that. So we're going to go into a few of those things today and delve right in. But I know a lot of you were drawn in by the title, 10 Small Things You Can Do in 10 Minutes That Will Drastically Improve Your Health. Shocker. We're still going to have that. We're still going to have the quick things that you can get out of this in the first 15 minutes, which is exactly what you came here for, I'm sure. And we're going to dive into a little bit more after that. We're going to discuss some apps that you can use on your phone, things that I've found that help me out. And primarily, this whole episode is just stuff I've learned through my personal experience. I'm not a guru in fitness. I'm not an expert in any realm. I've just learned a lot about a lot, and I'm trying to give that back to somebody who can use that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I know that in today's society, we're all kind of obsessed with things like physical fitness. It's all over Instagram, it's all over Facebook. And I'm just curious, is it because we actually want to take care of our bodies, or is it because we want to look good in the mirrors? Kind of look at our image staring back at us and maybe not hate it. And I say this because I know a lot of you out there are feeling that way. I bet if I asked this question in a room full of 300 people, over 80% of you would raise your hands in favor of hating the image staring back at you in the mirror. And man, I'm so glad this is audio right now and I don't have to look at that, because I'm 100% sure that I would break down in tears, because that's sad. That's awful. And I want to build people up in a way that they can finally look themselves in the mirror and not hate what they see. And I understand on a certain level that feeling. There's always a part of us that we won't ever maybe agree with or be super comfortable with, but we have to keep that from turning into hate. And so we're going to talk about some things that might help you with that. We're living in a society where people are hyper intentional about life hacks and the top things you can do in 10 minutes or less to reach your biggest goals. It's a microwave society where we want everything yesterday, and we have so little patience and too much entitlement. So I think we've gotten hooked on these life hack things. When we're searching for keywords, it's what are the top 10 things I can do now to fix this? We're far more inclined to invest $10,000 a year in a magic pill that promises to allow us to eat some shitty foods that we eat every day and actually lose weight by taking the pill. It's bullshit and we know it, but we buy it anyways, We'd rather sell out to this fake fantasy that actually invest 30 minutes a day at the gym, or, trade one of those shitty meals for a salad each day. And I mean, these are facts. This is how our society has become. And we're a product of our environment. As technology grows, we're going to become more needy, less patience. And I hope that we can nip this in the bud now and kind of work on that. Because if you want goals, if you want to crush your goals, those long-term goals, you're going to have to put in long-term hard work. That's no shock. But I think where people are getting twisted is you've set off on a health and fitness journey at some point, and you've gotten sidelined, whether you've gotten injured, you never really got back into the swing of things, or you walked into the gym and got intimidated, or, that donut was looking real nice, girl, and then you found that cake and she was hollering too. There's a lot that goes into a health and fitness journey, and it's a trek. It's going to take some time to build up that as a habit, like 90 days. Most people won't put in 3 months into their New Year's resolution. So it does take time to instill that habit to begin to grow and understand health and wellness. There are people that track everything that goes in their body in terms of macros, everything that leaves their body too. When you're a professional bodybuilder, you're going to track a lot of stuff. You're going to have a, bookshelf full of books that's going to help you. Your meals are going to be completely scheduled and diagnosed and made to fit everything that you're doing. Everything is tracked. Everything is planned. Everything is laid out in advance. It's like a super intense game of chess for health and fitness. So if you're looking on Instagram and you're seeing that girl and she's just jacked and she's talking about how much she loves CrossFit or she loves this or she's in jiu-jitsu, you have to understand she didn't start that journey 3 months ago. Straight up. I'm going to be real with you. That girl that you're staring at that you're wanting to look like, or if you're a guy, that dude that's sitting there and, you probably got your dad bod going on. That's cool. Dad bods are in, I hear. I wouldn't know, gay and all that. But, you're looking at the guy and he's ripped too, and I get the feeling to want to look like that. But if you haven't put in the 8 to 10 years minimum of hard work, you're not going to look like that right away. So you can't get discouraged when you go to the gym one day and you don't come out looking like that. It's just not feasible. It's not going to happen. It's not a realistic goal. So if you're the type of person that did come here for 10 simple tips, so be it. I'm going to give them to you. Take them, leave them as I expect you probably will. And we're totally cool. No hard feelings or anything like that. But if you're looking for a little more information and, to add a drastic change of mindset, just go ahead and stick around for the discussion afterwards. So just starting out, the first tip is learn to cook a healthy morning breakfast. It takes less than 10 minutes to do a Google search and find a ton of healthy recipes. If you're not one for eating breakfast, just try a shake. One that I found that I like is 3/4 cups of frozen fruit of your choice. It doesn't matter. Blueberries, strawberries, it doesn't matter. Just 3/4 of a cup. Then a handful of spinach, 3/4 of a cup of water, and a splash of orange juice. That's baller. And for those of you who hate spinach, don't get discouraged. You can't taste it. So on to number 2. Another thing you can try. Actually, this kind of is part of number 1 if I'm really thinking about it like this. But part of that whole breakfast routine is, taking 10 minutes each morning to just sit down on YouTube or Google and search for something that you want to learn how to make for your breakfast, and then actually follow those instructions and make it. That's 10 minutes a day of research, maybe 10 minutes to cook. If you take the full 10 minutes to research, which most of you won't, you'll find exactly what you're looking for in the first 2 minutes. You do 10 minutes a day, 7 days a week. That's a little over an hour of practice per week. You add that up to a month, 3 months, a year, and, you're going to be making top chef meals. Okay, maybe not top chef, but you're going to be setting a better foundation for yourself each morning. And, you're also learning something new and you're really building the foundation for living a healthier lifestyle. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. In my opinion, it gives you a nice place to start, but you don't want to be too heavy with it. So that's, just kind of keep it light, keep it healthy, but make sure you're giving something that your body can feed off of with healthy energy, not a candy bar. So number 2, I also recommend starting with mastering 3 small exercises each day. So, practice 10 minutes in the morning, or if you don't have time in the morning, I understand, in the evening, whatever your work schedule is, you're doing 3 small exercises each day, because most people start downloading these apps and they build a workout for them, and there's 15 exercises. They've heard of 2. And now they're discouraged. They don't think they can do it, even with these, YouTube videos showing them how to do it. They go in the gym, they try something new, they're getting stared at. Guys, I feel that struggle. So stop trying to start out knowing everything, because you don't. And that's good. That gives you room to grow. Like, we want that. So instead of starting out with the whole damn cake, try taking just a piece. Start with mastering 3 small exercises every day. Practice for 10 minutes each morning or evening or whenever. And it can be exercises you think you already know how to do, But I think you'll find that upon like researching it and stuff, you might learn little tips how to perform a perfect push-up, for instance. Or you might find better ways of completing the exercises you do every day. Try doing handstands, push-ups, crunches for just a solid week straight every day. Just really master those techniques. Then the next week, vary it up. Do burpees, squats, bicycles, take your pick. And just be sure to consult your physician, prior to beginning any new exercise routine, because you want to know if you're healthy enough, if you've been out of the routines for a while, or if you haven't really done exercise your whole life. You want to know where you can start. So you might not want to start with handstands, for instance. There might be a modified version of the exercise that would be best for you. And your physician can kind of point you in the right direction there. And I mean, if you're looking for some tips, where to begin, looking for some creativity, a lot of people have a difficult time. One app I can recommend, there's actually two. Home Workout is on the Apple iPhones. I know that. I don't know about Android. All of these apps I'm going to be mentioning are from the Apple category because that's just what I have, guys. But the Home Workout is great if you're doing a full body workout just with body weight exercises. Fitbod, Fitbod is awesome. So it's basically an app that you can go and schedule your entire workout, whether it's body weights, resistance, actual weights, or maybe high intensity training, something like that. You can schedule your whole entire workout using this app. I actually purchased the free version and I can sign off on it. I got the full version. The premium version is what I purchased, and I have not gone back. I love it because I can actually select what target muscles I want to target for that workout, how long the duration should be. If I only have like 30 minutes, then I put that in. And it keeps track of your goals. So if you want to lose weight, maintain weight, gain muscle, whatever the deal is, it keeps track of your goals too. And it builds you a workout based on this. And this is something I recommend for you guys after you get into the habit of building on those 3 small exercises each day. But if you're looking for a body weight exercise app, look at the Home Workout app, and that'll give you some ideas for some good body weight exercises you can do. After you've mastered some of those, you can start moving into some resistance bands and weights just as your doctor permits. Now, the next one, some people might laugh at, but it's crucial. Breathing exercises are a must. And some people can refer to this as meditation. Others just say breathing exercises. It doesn't matter. In a world where there's so much large amounts of stress everywhere, it's been normalized. This type of just soul-crushing weight of stress has just been normalized. So it's vital that we're doing things on our own time to combat this stigma. We want to make sure that we're not allowing that stress to decompose our body at a faster rate, because that's basically what stress does to you. It just kills you faster. So we don't want that. We need to work on controlling the way we respond to stress. We need to work on controlling our breaths. It's a great way of just realizing that you do have control over something that day. So if you've had a completely shitty day, you can focus on your breath. And one of the best ways to do this, I recommend downloading the app Stop, Breathe, and Think. They actually have guided meditations, things like that. We'll talk about it later, but it's a fantastic app, and it also has some breathing exercises on there. So moving on to number 3, oh gosh, I don't even know what we're on right now. I think that was 3. Yeah, so we're moving on to 4. My bad. So you want to do the creative brainstorming sessions. Each day for 10 minutes, you want to sit down and write 10 things that interest you, 10 new ideas. Things that you think would be fun to execute or would just be cool, anything you want, the sky's the limit. Just write them all down and just do this for like a few days, and you'll notice that your creativity is in full swing. When I started doing this, I had all kinds of ideas for video creations, and it just really got my sparks flying. And there's a lot of apps you can use to help you with this kind of content or just life creation. But one thing I like is the Simple Mind app. It's a mind mapping app, which if you've never heard of it, stay tuned because we're going to talk about it later in this episode. Sorry if I'm singing to you guys. It's definitely 2:00 in the morning here, and I'm just, I've got that 2:00 vibe. So Getting into the rest of this. I'm sorry, guys. This might be a little ADHD for you. Can't help it. It's honest diagnosis. So the next one we're going to talk about is cut out the things you don't really need. So this would include common sense things like cutting your sodium intake. Don't buy a frozen food meal if it's more than 250 milligrams. And don't be tricked by the label that says healthy next to it. That doesn't mean they're healthy. If they're frozen, chances are they've got 900 milligrams of sodium in them, which is terrible, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Put those suckers back on the shelf, dude. And same goes for those frozen breakfast foods. As much as we love sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits, let me tell you, when they're frozen, those suckers are killing you with sodium. So put that back on the shelf. Make a healthy breakfast at home. You can also meal prep your breakfast. True story. So I would say, put the prepackaged foods back. The cheese, I don't know if you guys know that the little cheese, fruits, and crackers, the little sets that you get on the aisles, are also really, really bad with sodium. So take a look at the things that you're probably taking in that you're not really paying attention to because you think they're healthy. Start reading the labels. The labels are your friends. Avoid eating sugars, and they can be masked as like a variety of things. Fruits, healthy nutrition bars. These sugars are going to slow your metabolism so your body doesn't burn your stored fat. It'll also commit to storing more fat. So avoid, sugary drinks, soft drinks, artificial sweeteners, energy drinks. Commit to tracking your food intake for 2 weeks. Try using an app. I call on MyFitnessPal. That's my favorite meal tracker. There's other ones like MyPlate, but this is just my personal favorite. All the apps I can recommend. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm not affiliated with any of them. They're just fantastic. Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying the Megan James show. I apologize for the interruption, but I really just wanted to take this time to talk to you about something important. Did you know that you can actually get paid just for listening to this podcast? I know it sounds insane, but it's true. We just discovered this free new app called Podcoin, and it literally pays you to listen to podcasts. So here's how it works. You listen to podcasts and you earn Podcoin while you listen. Then you turn that Podcoin in for gift cards at places like Amazon or Starbucks. Or if you're a good, generous person, you can even donate those Podcoins to charity. The more you listen, the more you earn. So here's what you do. Download the app right now on iPhone or Android, and I have a special code for you today. Simply use our code Megan James, and you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up. And if you listen to enough of us on here, then you can get a cappuccino at Starbucks or an awesome gift card on us. So go ahead and go listen to the podcast or virtually any podcast on Podcoin and sign up with the code Megan James. I swear it'll change the way you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening. And here's the rest of our show. So the next one we're going to talk about is journaling your thoughts for 10 minutes. So whatever pops in your mind, write it down on paper. You're not laying them out. You're not laying out your thoughts to look perfect or for anyone to read them. It's basically just a place for you to get all your thoughts out, no matter how messy they look, and just reflect on them. That's it. And one thing I love is the app like we discussed, the Stop, Breathe, and Think app. It actually has a space in there to journal after your meditations. So take advantage of that 10 minutes journaling each day. Our next one, read for 10 minutes every morning in a self-development or, business-related book, something that you're going to grow from, something for your self-growth and your self-development. It should be something challenging. It's probably not going to be a breeze to read through. It's not going to be your average vampire hunter murder mystery or whatever. Something that's going to cause you to reflect on it. So, and after that, of course, you need to listen to a podcast for 10 minutes. Actually, this is just an excellent practice to develop in your daily commute. So when you're tired, you're feeling drained, or you're just waking up, you're stressed because you're running late, this one practice is going to help you immensely because we have a habit of letting that one thing that went wrong that morning or later in the day reflect on our entire day. It could be a 2-minute thing that occurred in our 24 hours, but somehow our whole day is just fucked. A way to stop that is just stop. Just stop your train of thought. When you feel it going negative and you can't really reel it back in, put a podcast in if you can, and allow somebody else to talk over the voices talking to you, because that negative inner voice is going to cause you to kind of screw up your day a little bit more. You'll start noticing the negative more than you will the positive, and you'll find that after a 10 to 15 minute commute, this negative voice just disappears. And the passive listening will allow you to take in so many pieces of wisdom from each episode without even having to really actively focus on the content. So you can use this time not only to learn, about whatever you like listening to podcasts about, self-growth, self-development, business. It can even be like a murder mystery, whatever. Just something to kind of, build your character. I prefer something self-development related because if I was going to listen to like murder mysteries and stuff like that, I would just read a book. I want to use this time to take in as much as I can. So that's me. Other people can use this to learn a second language. You'd be surprised how much you can take in passive listening. So that's one of the things I really recommend doing. Another one is take your vitamins. This is number 9. I know I haven't really stuck to numbering these, guys. I suck at it. I'm sorry. Moving on. Take your vitamins. So this includes any allergy medicines, heartburn preventatives, and, general wellness products. Basically, a lot of people prefer natural herbal supplements to the allergy meds over the counter because they feel that they do a better job. I know people that take rhodiola instead of drinking a ton of caffeine every day because it has a lot of good effects. But before you take somebody's advice on supplements, first off, do not, please, if you care about me, please don't go into a GNC store and say, oh yeah, this is what I'm looking to do. Can you help me? And you buy whatever they give you because they're going to give you the most expensive thing there. And they may have, your well-being in mind, but keep in mind, these people are not generally registered dietitians. They don't know what's going to conflict with your body, and half the stuff, just so you know, is not regulated. So there is no FDA for supplements. A lot of people don't know this. So they can sneak in whatever they want. Whatever's on the label doesn't have to be on the label, which means they can leave stuff out. They can put stuff in that's not on there because there's no one to regulate it. I know of 2 companies myself that actually have an independent advisory board that checks their supplements and ensures that what's on the label is actually in those supplements and that they don't cause any bad effects. So one of the companies is Advocare and the other one is Nutrilite. And I want to say Nutrilite is ranked like top 10 in the world for nutrition companies. I trust them. Now I was a distributor of Nutrilite for a long time, and I still have access to that. It's not that I don't do it anymore. I just don't devote as much time to it. But mostly I just stay in for the benefits of getting those supplements at a discounted rate because to me, the fact that they don't have wax coating on them, so it doesn't take long to break down, and they're truly all natural. They control the whole process from the farms. They have their own farms. They get the products from the farms. I mean, it's fascinating. If you want to look up the products, just look up the 2 companies, Advocare and Nutrilite. They're both amazing, in my opinion, just because they regulate what's going into their products. So do some research before you just go out and buy something off the shelf, please, because you can get really screwed up doing that. Meal replacement shakes and protein shakes, they can fall into this category, and I know I'm guilty of letting myself run out of my vitamins sometimes, and then I kind of struggle to convince myself to buy more because I'm thinking, damn, they're pricey, I just don't know. But even though I know that I do feel better when I take vitamins, I don't get sick as often. I just have more energy. I just feel better. I still have to fight this battle with myself in my mind to buy my vitamins. So don't fall into that trap of looking at the price of something and being like, oh, I don't know. Because in the time that you spent eating out this month, you could have afforded the vitamins you needed this month, if we're being realistic. Moving on to number 10, sleep. Critical. It's not last for any particular reason. None of these are in order or ranked, what I think is more importantly. They're all important. But your sleep is the most important. Get the amount of sleep your body needs, whether it's 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. You know what your ideal sleep is, and you don't need to be cutting it short or sleeping too long, because that's how you get jacked up. You're more likely to fall into like a slump the following day and not be as productive if you're cutting your sleep too short or you're actually sleeping too long. One thing I can recommend is turn off all your screens 2 hours before you go to bed. No phone, no laptop, no nothing. Try reading a book or listening to a podcast or soothing music. A lot of times that'll help people fall asleep. Or listen to it like 10 minutes before you go to sleep. It kind of clears your mind. Just use this time to prepare for your next day. So that would be meal prepping, set your workout clothes out that you want to, if you're going to work out the next morning, commit to it. Set your workout clothes out that night so you have no excuse. You don't have to dig around in the dark to find your clothes. Plan your work clothes, have everything set out. So everything is together so you don't have to worry about finding things the next day. Having that relief, that burden just knocked off your shoulders is going to help. Like it's for me, in my personal experience, having everything organized the night before, I go to bed with no worries, no stresses, no complaints. I'm out for the count. I've slept through tornadoes. I've slept through hurricanes because my routine is on point. So find your routine and stick to it. You're going to feel more rested, and your whole life is going to be changed just from getting the sleep that your body needs. And only you will know what you function best at. It may be 6.5 hours, I can't tell you, but you know where you feel the best, where your range is. So just do what you can to make sure you're getting that sleep. So there are your tips for getting better health. So if you came here for that, appreciate your time. I'll see you later. Tune in for the next podcast. If you're here for the others, the rest of the details, stay tuned because here we are. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how your screen time is actually affecting your physical and mental health. Keep an eye on your screen usage reports on your phone. I love that they lovingly provide these to you each day because it keeps you, it actually compares last week to this week, and it lets you know if you're doing worse or you're doing better or where your time is actually spent too. It can track if it was in social media or if it was in productivity. It's really, really, really good to keep up with. Don't ignore that. It's a fantastic tool at your disposal, and it's I like it because it just tracks everything and it keeps you accountable. It's like your own little accountability calendar. So it also kind of makes you reflect. So instead of staying plugged into social media and or your work email, try hiding all of those things inside a folder on the farthest page on your phone. So this is going to cause you to actively focus to find those apps. And it prevents you from pulling up your Instagram while you're waiting in line or getting on Facebook to avoid an awkward conversation on the elevator. Instead put those things in a folder in the back of your phone, and then try putting some new folders on the front pages of your phone. So when you get to these moments, you're focusing on growing yourself rather than distracting yourself. So try doing like books, online, like a Kindle app is great. We're going to go into some, like the whole next of this is going to be talking about apps to help you. So pick any of these apps, put them on those pages so you have something to tune into that's not filling your mind with junk. Seriously, do you really need to look at that mansion for 10 minutes? No, probably not. Nope. That's 10 minutes that you could have already read a page. And, just so you know, all the apps I mentioned in this podcast, they're going to be listed in the episode notes for like spelling purposes and stuff like that. I'll also provide links to the downloads if I can find them. But I'm not an affiliate. I don't have any contact with these companies. They're just apps that have helped me grow over the years because I know that all of you have your own apps, and I feel like they can be helpful. Apps can be a great thing if we use them correctly, if we're not completely distracted by them and letting them run our lives. we could actually use them to help make our lives easier. So that's why I'm coming into this and kind of recommending these. They're just simply apps that help me grow and learn, and I feel they can be beneficial to each of you. So I'm going to include everything from physical fitness apps, wellness, food trackers, educational apps. Enjoy, because it's going to be the bomb. Your phone doesn't have to be a prison or a place to escape. It can be one of the most useful tools that you own, believe it or not. I'm fascinated by the fact that you have in your hand more power and more technology than 88% of our presidents have had. How fucking mind-blowing is that? All the presidents that have literally ran this country, 88% didn't have the power of the cell phone that you have. So my question to you is, why don't you start using that power to accomplish your goals so you can change the world? All right, guys, with that, we're moving on. Favorite fitness apps in order. I actually ordered these. Fitbod, which we talked about. This comes with both a free and a paid version, full disclosure. I'll be discussing the benefits of the paid version because that's what I use. That's what I love. And it offers you the opportunity to construct completely personalized workouts without having to physically enter into any of the exercises yourself. So like, I'm one of these people where I don't have as much patience as I should. I'll be completely honest. So the thought of having to enter in every single exercise I'm doing by hand, I can't. Just that act alone makes me not want to do that workout. So having somebody else plug in all these exercises for me and I can swap them out if I don't like one or I did that yesterday or whatever the case is, I can do that. But I don't have to plug a single one in. Love it. One of my favorite freaking things. Now, if you are somebody that wants to completely customize your workout from scratch, they offer that option too. And one of my favorite things is that you tell it how much time you have, whether it's 30 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever you have to work out at the gym, and which muscles you want to target, what equipment you have access to, whether you have an actual full gym or just some weights, or you want to do body weight workouts or just resistance. It takes all that information and constructs a workout for you based on the goals that you've previously entered. It's fantastic. I truly recommend you trying it. Try out the free version. I have no doubt that you'll upgrade. I have not regretted it. I will never downgrade. It is fantastic. I also love that it tracks your time and the calories that you burn in each workout and syncs them to whatever health apps you choose. I prefer Apple Health because it syncs to other apps that I will be mentioning a little bit later on. Okay, so second app, Map My Run. I also have the paid version of this. It allows me to track my trails, save them to my favorites, compare my time across other runs in the same locations, find trails that other people have saved, track my split pace, and even track other workouts like, of all things, it tracks lawn mowing. It can track landscaping, lawn mowing, volleyball, rowing, all these things, even running on your treadmill. So you can log all kinds of workouts in Map My Run. It's not just for running. And it also syncs to Apple Health. We talked about home workout. This is number 3. We talked about home workout earlier. It's a great app to use if you don't have gym equipment and you just want to use like a body weight workout. Maybe you're staying in a hotel, didn't want to use their gym, you're working out in your room. I don't know. This is an excellent app. Number 4, the Tabata Pro. So I paid a one-time fee of like $7 or something years ago to access this pro version of this app. It comes with a Tabata suite of apps. Can't for the life of me remember what the other 2 are because I obviously never used them. But I use this Tabata app for everything from circuit workouts with weights, body weights, or just boxing. It's a fantastic app, and it is exactly what I need. It's simple. You can put in what we would think of reps and sets. You can put those in. They're just called something different. So make sure you figure out that before you start trying to attempt the workout. Favorite health apps. Number 1, MyFitnessPal. We talked about this earlier. So I use this to track all my food intake, my water intake, my weight, exercise, and it allows me to enter my goals. So what type of body type I actually want, if I want to lose weight, maintain weight, and then it decides how many calories, sugars, proteins, all of that I can have each day. So I don't have to do any of the thinking, and it works for me. I can scan products. Like, I can go over to my cabinet and say, well, that's 230 calories, that's 240. Like, what's the difference with sodium? I can't do the math. So I start scanning them. Scan the barcode, all the information pops up, and you can decide then how many servings you want. We talked about this number 2, the Stop, Breathe, and Think app. It started out actually, it's like 2 psychologists designed it. It was 2 ladies designed it for children. And it's morphed into something. I mean, they even have meditations for pregnancy. So be sure to check that out. I have the paid version of it as well, and I haven't regretted even a single second of doing that. It has literally hundreds of guided meditations. So I sucked at meditations, guys. I hated it. I mean, I'm ADHD. I can't fucking sit still. So the thought of me sitting in silence with nothing but my own thoughts to try to silence it, are you kidding me? No. So I needed guided meditations to really get me in the process of meditating. Fantastic. Check it out. They also have meditations for a variety of topics. It even has stuff for like kids and college students, things like that. I think one of my favorite things is the journaling section. It's got a little tab for you to journal your thoughts. They send you little motivational messages every day, and it has several soundscapes or sleepscapes to help you fall asleep at night. And this is my favorite part. In case you guys didn't know, you can actually monetize your self-growth. Truth. So, number 1, my favorite app for monetizing your self-development is Achievement. It pays points just for logging things like how much water you drank each day, the foods you eat, every time you weigh yourself, how many steps you took, when you work out. And it's not difficult to rack up like 200 points a day. It really isn't. And it syncs to almost every fitness and health tracker, including Fitbit and I think Garmin. You can get paid out after 10,000 points. So they give you $10 at 10,000 points. And thus far I've been paid out numerous times, like I've lost count. I never grow tired of it, and it offers you continuous opportunities to earn more points by taking things like health surveys to learn more about medical conditions that you have and stuff like that. So it's really great. They just want to basically make sure the population has better health. And they also use the information they gather to see how people are doing across the world. You know, some of the achievement users compared to the rest of the population. All right. Another great app, number 2, is Sweatcoin. So it's similar to Achievement. It pays you to work out as well, but it works a little differently. It also requires that you give it access to track your location at all times, which I honestly wasn't a big fan of because my phone is crap and the battery dies way too easily. So I couldn't leave my location on, so it didn't track all of my activities. I wasn't really getting what I wanted from it. Me personally, I prefer Achievement over Sweatcoin, but I know people that feel vice versa. So check them both out, see which one you prefer. Maybe you download both, get paid for the same stuff twice, just saying. Nothing says you can't use both. And I think Sweatcoin just partnered with Podcoin, which brings us to my number 3 favorite, Podcoin. You guys will hear me do call outs for them and everything like that. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me. They don't give me cuts of anything or not affiliate. It's just the reason I give them a call out is because they put me in the bonus podcast, which is basically that first thing that pops up on your page. It pops up with podcasts that are bonused, and I think you get more points for listening to those or something. So for me, it's an easy decision making like a 60-minute roll or a 60-second pre-roll or mid-roll for them. Basically just educating you guys that this is an option and it's awesome. So they pay you to listen to podcasts just like this one. So if you're not getting paid to listen to this right now, you better go download Podcoin and re-listen to it so you can actually get paid. I'm sure if you're a longtime listener, you've heard these call outs. And I know you know that I don't get paid or anything like that, but some of you don't know that you can actually get like 300 free Podcoin points just for signing up. Just use my code Megan James, MEGANJAMES, Megan James. And, it's a fantastic deal just for signing up. You can get the 300 points. And you can either cash out your Podcoins for gift cards to things like Amazon or Starbucks, or you can donate them to charities of your choice. So that's what I do. It's what I've saved up a bunch so far that I need to donate. So moving on to like actual education. So online education, which I recommend to everyone. Shaw Academy. It kind of works like Udemy. Udemy, people say it differently, whatever. They offer free and paid courses to you at a fraction of the cost that would cost you through university. You can get something called an EQF diploma. And so if you feel like you need a piece of paper to make yourself feel accomplished, absolutely no judgment, because there's plenty of people out there that do feel that way. If they're going to do the online course, they want the piece of paper that says, hey, I completed this shit. No judgment from me whatsoever. Udemy, very similar. You can find so many great courses on hundreds of thousands of different topics. If they don't have a course on a topic that you're learning about, that means there's an option for you to teach a course on it, and it's a great way to earn passive income on telling others what you already know. So the courses can be taken whenever you want. There's no set schedule, and you finish them whenever you want. Did I mention that for every course you register for, you get lifetime access to? That's pretty stellar to me, because when I had to register for online classes that I paid upwards of $250 for in college, I didn't have lifetime access, and I had to finish shit in a ridiculous time span. I mean, let's be honest, we wasted that money. But this lifetime access, sign me up some, because that means they have PDFs, they have videos, links, and other resources that you can use in the future. So if you do a course for your job, you'll have access to resources forever, which is awesome. Number 3, the Khan Academy. So this is a great way to learn about anything like STEM related, but they also have some arts and humanities as well. They're known for computing and coding specifically. You can find it all here though: math, science, economics, finance, arts, humanities, computing, coding, you name it, it's all there. There are also opportunities for test prep and to learn more about colleges and careers and stuff like that. So one of my favorite things about this app is there's a whole section of interviews with entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, Drew Houston, Richard Branson, and more. Am I right? Fantastic. So number 4, and I'm going to butcher this. I think it's Coursera. It's Coursera, Coursera maybe. This app offers courses through basically schools like Duke University, Johns Hopkins University, Yale University, Stanford. And you're given 2 choices. You can either take the course for free, and it's the same course that you would get through those universities, those high-end college universities that, average people probably can't afford. You can actually take the course for free. You just don't get a certificate. So you can pay to get the certificate after completion of the course. I think they're usually around like $50 a certificate. So keep that in mind. That's a big option. You get that high-end education that people talk about. And also there are Harvard professors and professors of other universities that also teach on Udemy. Keep that in mind. Number 5, edX. So this has a wide variety of courses as well. Everything from cybersecurity to architecture, you name it. Most are self-paced, but some have specific start dates and end dates. They offer courses from Harvard, MIT, same ones listed above. And you can actually take the courses for free, but you won't have that certificate. So same as Coursera. If you choose to purchase the certificate, I think it costs upwards of about $150. But you'll receive that verified certification after completing your course. So it's whatever you're interested in. They have a dynamic for every individual out there. There's also number 6, Skillshare. So this one's awesome for those of you who only have 10 minutes or so to learn about a specific topic. The courses are usually short, but they're very informative. Your first month is free, and then it's like $14.99 a month, I think, and $99 a year. So they can be taken wherever you want. There's no set schedule, and you can finish them whenever you want. Number 7, the Code Academy. This is an app specifically designed for you to assist you with learning how to code. So you can actually sit on your phone, learn to code, practice from your phone. You don't have to have your computer, and you can build up coding streaks and all kinds of stuff. So this is an awesome place to start if you don't know much about coding, or if you're just looking to really hone your skill. It's a fantastic app for that. So as far as for free or affordable books, check out these apps. Number 1, Self-Help Classics. I love this one. It's an app that gives you free access to like the best self-development books in history for free, the classics. You can actually buy sets of they have other books that you can buy on top of what they give you. You can get like a set of 5 to 8 books at a time for about $6. So, I mean, I love it. You don't have to return anything when you're done, and you have lifetime access to them. It's a Dow bargain. iBooks is number 2. This is just a great place that I found to go get books downloaded to my phone. I'm not so good with reading books on my phone, but I prefer to listen to audiobooks, and I can actually listen to them on here. So that's why I prefer it. Number 3 is Blinkist. So this is an awesome app if you're really willing to invest in your education. It's a professional book summary service that allows you to understand the key insights from like the world's best nonfiction books in 15 minutes or less. So pretty epic. If you have any difficulty finishing, nonfiction books, or you're overwhelmed by like all the new books released, or you're just, having trouble finding time to read, which we all understand, this actually can aid you. It's what they call each blink. That's why it's Blinkist. Each blink is a key insight that fits nicely just on one page. So they put out about 3,000 plus summaries a day. And I know that you can start a free trial for 7 days. And then after the trial is over, it's, I want to say $89.99 a year or $7.50 a month, depending on whichever plan you choose. Some other book apps is, Kindle, Nook. We all know about those probably. Barnes & Noble. Nook Free Books is exactly what the title says. They're free books for your Nook Books account. You can read them on your phone or your actual Nook. Check that out if you didn't know about it. Number 8, Libby. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. So Libby is an app for all you North Carolinians out there that you can use the app to access the North Carolina Digital Library. So there's hundreds of these digital books and audiobooks that you can check out or loan out, and just borrow them and then return them. So you don't have to pay for anything, and they have updated current books. It's just a really fantastic way if you're balling on a budget, but you want some self-growth at the same time. If you're interested in seeing if your state offers something similar, I suggest you do a Google search, because I'm not sure. I really didn't check it out before I did this podcast. Or just give your local library a call and ask them, because I'm sure they'll know. But you'll probably need a library card, a public library card, to access any account. I know you do with Libby. So for good articles on a wide variety of content like self-development, I go to these 2 places. I have 2 apps. One is Medium. You can read hundreds of thousands of articles on this app, and they're written by experts and ordinary Joe Schmoes. So you'll find unique viewpoints and insights and things that you probably couldn't have thought of like on your own. It's just things that every now and then I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of it like that. And it just gives you ideas. The reads are listed by the time they take to read. So like 4 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. And you just select which topics you want to learn about. So architecture, romance, whatever. And they literally, Medium just designs each day. They'll send you a newsletter with what you want. Here's the topics you selected. Here's what we have for the day, the picks of the day. And just make sure that when you're selecting topics, you keep that in mind. So I think it's like $5 a month. So you can get a Medium account for free, but it's $5 a month to really have access to the full service. They limit you to 5 articles a day. And I'm guessing, because I can't really remember, because I've had the paid subscription for a while. Just know that if you get the free account, you're going to be limited on how many articles you can read per day. But once you pay the really small fee each month, you get full access. Number 2 is Reddit. So it's pretty similar to Medium in that you can find several articles about subjects you want to learn more about, and you can select topics that interest you. So, those will be like the kinds of articles or memes or GIFs or whatever that you're going to see more of. It actually provides more news coverage and memes, graphics, and stuff like that. And then I think with Medium or any other app, it kind of focuses more on those things. But you can actually vote on them for relevancy, and it kind of keeps track of that to focus on what content to send you in the future. So you can like vote it up. And for those of you who are talking about, doing your commutes, learning a foreign language, my favorite app in the world for foreign language is Duolingo. I've found it to be the most efficient way to learn a foreign language thus far. And keep in mind, I've used Rosetta Stone before for years. I've actually taken about 9 years of Spanish in school. And sadly, all I can ask you is, where's the bathroom? I can tell you my stomach hurts, and just a few other inconsequential phrases and curse words. So, yes, I failed myself with learning the Spanish language because I wasn't particularly interested at it in the time that I was learning it. So now I'm learning Nordic on Duolingo, and I'm actually having a blast. I'm actually getting the language, which is a first for me. I was never good at learning Spanish. I didn't feel like I understood it that well, but I actually feel like I understand the Nordic dialect. So I don't feel like I'm drowning in words I don't understand. So check it out. If you want to learn another foreign language, or you just want to use your time productively, it's a great, great app, and it's free. So that concludes my app recommendations for those of you that stuck around. I hope you were writing down with your pen and pencil, just vigorously taking notes. If you didn't, don't worry. It's going to be in the episode notes. If you guys have any tips, any hints, tricks, or my favorite, if you guys have apps that you're a fan of, especially you Android users, please, 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 please put it in the comments or message me. I'll be putting this episode out on the Facebook page, The Megan James Show, and I'll also be putting it on our Instagram page, which is legacy_lifestyle_coaching. Go check out those two pages and leave us a comment, or if you don't feel comfortable, you can DM me, direct message me your favorite apps or some ideas or some thoughts that you got from this podcast. I love interacting with you guys. I totally geek out. So the more you talk to me, the more I'm going to talk to you, and it's going to be a vicious circle of just words. So with that, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you got something out of today. Just my biggest advice for you is take it one bite at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Why that's an expression, I don't know. Again, 2 a.m. thoughts. So take it one bite at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to read every self-help book in the world in a week. It's not feasible. If you can't finish a book in a week, don't get freaked out. Read 10 pages a day. That's it. Just 10 pages a day. 10 minutes a day. Learn 3 exercises a day. Just listen to a podcast for 10 minutes a day. Start small. You guys, you'll never be able to conquer the things that you're striving to conquer if you try to start out full speed ahead. And that's exactly what we perfectionists have a habit of doing. So with that, guys, I hope you have an excellent weekend, and please don't forget to hit me up with ideas or comments on this episode. All right, guys, later. Er.